All right, we'll get things started here with Nebraska coach Amy Williams. Coach, if you'd like to make an opening statement and then take questions.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our team for this win today. It felt great to be back at home and in front of a great crowd, and I really have a ton of respect for Penn State and how solid they are and aggressive they are offensively. So for us to hold them to 51 points, I think is just a really special defensive effort. If you look at their point totals and what they're averaging on the season, well below their average, because they are very high-powered, play with great pace, and usually put a lot of points up on the board. I thought our team was pretty locked in defensively tonight, and it led to a great team win.
I want Jazz to get that triple-double last rebound.
As a head coach, you're really in a really hard spot in that moment because triple doubles are hard to come by, and she was close. We knew she was, but we have a big game on Saturday coming up, and ultimately, as a head coach, my job is to make sure she stays healthy and safe. And in that moment, that was way more important to me and us than that one extra rebound.
How would you evaluate your performance tonight?
Jazz, just a special effort from Jazz on Australian night here today. The thing that really stands out to me is obviously all the stats that she stuffed. It's not just the 10 points and 10 assists and 9 rebounds, but the block shots, the steals, the way that she really set the tone. McKenna Marisa is a incredibly special player, and it's probably the best that we've done at trying to contain her. I mean, she still scored 14 points, but I thought Jazz was a huge part of that. I think, it was a team effort. We had multiple people on her throughout the ball game, but Jazz played a big role in that, and I thought she just was really all over the place out there for us.
How important was, to get this win, especially after Sunday's loss?
Yeah, I think it's important to just, to our team, to get back kind of and just play in the way that we know our team is capable of playing. And so obviously that was a really tough loss for us on the road, but, we know that when we're doing the things that we can control, that we can be one of the best teams in the country, and I think we showed that here tonight.
What was the message over the week to kind of rebound from that loss, and how did you see that come to fruition tonight?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just wanted to talk about how poorly we shot the ball in our last ball game, and probably rightfully so. But from my standpoint, that's not anything that we talked about as a coaching staff. We just stayed on the grind, do what we do, stayed consistent with, getting the shots that we get and taking the shots that we take. But we wanted our focus to be more on rebounding, what we can do to stay diligent, going after rebounds and being aggressive, solid, rebounding with two hands. Today we put that as a major emphasis. I told the girls I wanted to have 2 people that came away with double-figure rebounds in this ball game, and when Lex had 10 at halftime, I said, well, if you get 20, I'll count that as our 2. But, Jazz was really, really close, and I just thought it was a dominating performance on the boards.
What were the biggest factors in holding them to 51 points?
I thought you can't lose them in transition. They're so good in transition. They really play with pace, and they get out, and they can come at you with a lot of different lineups, and that gets confusing. The one of the ways that they play so fast is anybody can take it out of bounds. Anybody can bring it up the floor, and then anybody can kind of run out wide and spot up. So finding matchups in transition is really important with this team, and I thought for 40 minutes our kids stayed pretty glued in to getting back and finding their matchups and making things difficult, so they had to try to score in half-court offense.
Callan Haig and Maddie Goalpost, 16 to 14 points tonight. What did you like and see from them?
Yeah, I thought obviously they shot the ball great. I thought that they were aggressive-minded. They were ready when the ball hit their hands. They were confident, and the biggest thing to me is just that they stayed locked in defensively to the game plan. They knew all the time. They were communicating on the floor, and just great performances from two newcomers in our program.
You also both said this win was imperative with Ohio State looming on Saturday. Does that make this win even more so?
I don't even know if it's so much about just what's looming on the other end. It's really more about what we're kind of coming off, and really wanting to be able to kind of bounce back from 3 straight losses and that performance on the road at Rutgers. And I think wanting to just kind of prove to ourselves, that we still are one of the best teams in our league. And so I think that was probably more important than anything.
What was it like to see that last shot from Kendall Moriarty go in?
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, if there had been just a little difference in the shot clock, we would have held the ball right there, but obviously, needed a shot to go off to avoid a shot clock violation. But all that I could think is that I felt like at Rutgers we took really, really good shots all night and couldn't throw it in the ocean, and then now we're making off 1 foot, 1 hand, a 3/4 court, flip it up, and it's going in the basket. And sometimes that happens.
Amy, how important was it for your team to hit those first 4 3-pointers to start the game?
Yeah.
Coming off the shooting night that you had?
Yeah, I think that really leads to confidence as much as, we've been trying to emphasize, let our defensive focus dictate the flow on offense. I think when you shoot the ball well, there's just a little more pep in your step and allowed us to kind of play with confidence and, maybe force them to pull out of some of the things. Their zone usually on baseline inbounds plays, and they ended up going all man on our blobs and things just because we were able to hit some early shots.
And one more for you. Penn State's pressure, especially in the first half, they love to get up and get on you. How much does that help you against Ohio State, who also likes to come after you?
Yeah, Ohio State's press is just a little bit different than, but Penn State will run at you with a lot of different presses. And so I think it's at least kind of a prep step for what we'll see in full court pressure for 40 minutes again on Saturday. I think obviously Penn State's defense is really good. It's really good. They are 10th in the nation in steals per game or something, and 14th in the nation in forced turnovers per game. They're really, really good, and they did force us into 22 turnovers. So we're going to have to take care of the ball a little bit better than that against Ohio State's pressure, and hopefully we'll learn some things from this game.
Anything else, guys?
Can I just say one more thing? Is I just want to make sure that it's noted about Izzy Born and what a consistent presence that she's been in our program over the last 3.5 years. And for her to be 36th player in our program's history to reach 1,000 points tonight on Australia night, just a really special accomplishment for a kid that I think really embodies what it means to be a Husker women's basketball player. And she really has been tremendously consistent with her contributions over the last 3.5 years. And so I was just thrilled to see that happen for her tonight, and hopefully we can make note of that. Thank you.